Hawa. Much a hop to the fam. What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? Hope everyone is blessed. A lot of stuff going on, and we all trying to make do and get through. Um, you know, as always, much love to the usual suspects. You know, in these trying times, we really easy to say, pray for me or pray for this person, this, that, and the other, And with these tragedies and stuff going on, whether they're man-made or not, the tragedies are the same, and let's not forget that. So, outside of how I stew, any one of us can be hit by a bus tomorrow. So, I hope that we do keep each other in our prayers. So much love and thanks to the brother King, for giving us that one-stop drop nation. And yeah, man, I do got my shirts, man. I do rock the drop, so don't think that I don't, man. I ain't made a video with me rocking the drop, but I do rock the drop shirts. I got my two, and maybe I do that and make the next video or something, show that I'm rocking the drop. Right now you can hear the waters playing in the background. I love this, man, because just continue to play. It feels good to be back. On the nation's tribe, on the family site here, man. So you're doing a great job, brother. Much appreciated. And if you haven't, man, you need to get signed up, become part of Drop Nation. Drop poetry. Oh man, I love drops. Y'all want some drop poetry? All right, let's do some drop poetry real quick. Yeah, I like this, man. Drop poetry. Yeah, Sister Ty Battle. This her poetry is just ether, yo. It's just ether. What is time? All right, let's see what she got this time for you. All right, can y'all see that all right? I think y'all can see that already. Let me make it just a little bit bigger, just in case y'all can't. I want y'all to dig on it like I'm digging on it. Alright, there we go. Is time used in return, or is it simply restarted? Does time rapidly speed up, or is it slowly retarded? Is time tenderly kind to us, or is it hard-hearted? Is time the whole of a pie, or is it equally parted? Does time come to an end? Does it get started? Is time unprotected, or is it heavily guarded? Is time whisked off, or is it carefully carted? Is time slow to travel, or is swiftly darted? Is time spontaneously drawn, or craftily arted? Is time sweet in its existence, or bitterly tarted? Is time free to exist, or is fenced in, yarded? Is time taken for granted, or highly regarded? Is time previously used, or is it freshly discarded? Is time tightly bound, or is it loosely wadded? Is time meticulously dealt, or magically carded? Is time actively living, or dearly departed? What is time? All right, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, all her the poetry, man. Is fire. I love poetry, so stuff like this really, I like to vibe with and stuff like that. So much love, to Ty, and the Battle family in general, and everybody out there. Again, it's good to have everything come back home. To be able to operate in the one-stop drop for us all, and not just Brother King here, but everybody, even let us find the truth education center, Brother Ed, and his site as well. What I'm saying, because we all gotta build this this library, as it were, new library of Alexandria, And any case, as always, Brother King stays on top of the game. Brother Uno keeping us with the musics and stuff like that. Make sure I hear that the baby stew is the baby's on its way. It's coming soon. So make sure we are still supporting that. And then we got the radio playing. That's up and running. So that's cool stuff right there. So where's my water? Back my water. Love this, man. Love this. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Deep breath. Alright. Oh, wow. Alright. So, obviously we got a lot of stuff going down. And so we're going to get into it. Actually, I kind of want to do a couple of things, but I want to stay focused on the main wave at hand. And that main wave right now, is this right here, the United States of North America, the Republic of North America, the family of nations, 1721 through present. Recent document, 20th of August, 2017. So, we need to get into this, and we're going to dig into this. And maybe in another video, I'll kind of get back or touch bases on something else, because I kind of want to dig on the bigger picture of things, if that makes sense. But let's just focus, stay focused here in the back of the classroom. So in the back of the classroom, what we do is basically we go ahead and do homework. We go ahead and look at different pieces of information. We make sure that we are looking at what the usual suspect present, and then see how these miscellaneous pieces fit together, bring it all together, and how it does play a factor to the big picture, and hopefully contribute to the bigger pot for the tribe. So here at the back of the classroom. When you search for indigenous truth, this document should really raise a couple of red flags on a lot of different levels. Now, before we even get into the textual stuff, let's keep it simple. Lowest common denominator and Arkham's razor this thing. Now, the reason why I say that is because the most quote-unquote effective magics is out there use the most analog techniques, okay? There's not a lot of, digital trickery going on with your magics, as it were. And we all know that writing is a form of a spell. So before we get to the actual spell, let's take a look at this. Now, just in the search of indigenous truth, and this is where Brother King and Brother Hiram and the rest of the tribe is getting to the Picto-Paleo. The symbolisms on things is should really stick out to you. Now, on this document, we got signatures, right? We got flags. We got the seals and stuff, right? Okay? So, even if you don't take it serious, you might want to take it serious, because, these seals mean something, and they're very, very important, and we need to keep our eye on the prize in that regard. Now, the first thing you'll notice here, speaking of seals, right? You see that you have the seal embossed on the back of the document, in which the spell, quote unquote, is written itself. You also have the seal here at the top, and again repeated down. Now, one thing you'll notice here, again, when you search for these documents, and if you've been, especially if you've been into your your status changes and stuff like that, you should notice these certain things or have paid attention to them. But on most documents, when they're official documents, when it comes down to the United States seal, right? So open that up. You see the obviously the eagles with the arrows, and then you'll have the other side with the pyramid, right? Now, a lot of people maybe you realize or don't know, but the United States seal is actually two-sided. Okay, it's actually two-sided. This is one side of the seal here, and then you have this other side. And on official documents, you'll see what happens here is you'll have this embossed on the one side, and then you'll have this one here embossed on the other side. Now we see this seal all the time, where it's double embossed on our currency, right? The American dollar. Okay. Now weird type of stuff here when it comes down to these seals. So, like I said before, typically speaking, when you see a document and something is sealed, this seal here is over on this side, usually the lower left-hand corner. Then you'll see this seal here embossed and sealed on this side. Now, to understand, and the reason why it's backwards on your money is because what's actually being sealed on for the currency is the actual plate that makes the currency. The original plate itself is what's being sealed, and this gets into your weights, measures, and stuff like that. And you'll learn if you have studied that each country has to designate a set standards of weights and measures. And so when you actually print your money, the seal is reflected backwards. Now, why do I bring this up in relation to this here? Well, well, with all these people signing all these different flags and seals and stuff, legitimizing this document here, certain things should kind of step out and grab your attention. Now, if you are totally underweight or in a lower vibration, you will read the United States of North America and just gloss right over it due to the programming. Okay, what's going on? But when you start actually in search for indigenous truth, you'll ask the question, well, what do you mean United States of North America? Because we all know that America is both North and South America, meaning one and the same. So this is more specific, as it were. And then you have the Republic of North America, which isn't the same as the United States of North America. Then you have the Family of Nations. Well, the Family of Nations is not the United States of North America, right? Or is it? Good question, because the United Nations is in New York. So maybe it's there for a reason. So, but again, when you go through this, you realize that this United States of America comes in a lot of different forms, and you even realize that there's a United States major and a United States minor that they mention in here. So what is this all really about? And then Brother Hiram was out doing his homework, and he looked it up, and yeah, real talk shit, and his video, go check him out. to all the keepers of royal assets, man shall arise from my seed, we the people, right? Okay, so, let me go back. All right. And then, now it's funny because I did just in trying to get to this here, and online took me down this rabbit hole that's very parallel. But I want to start with this basic understanding here first. So, or this premise. So, basically, how this works here is this. Due to the research by Anatoly Federmenko with the parallel timelines in history, he realized that we have duplicate timelines. Things don't make sense. Brother King Drop had a video, and if you did any extra homework, there's further work that he presents and he matches up. He also matches up the different maps and this, that, and the other. And one of the things that in the map part that he talks about is how there's these pieces of art that you think is art, and it's not art, or it is art, but it's really a map, but you don't perceive it to be a map. And it's my conjecture that the back of your $1 bill is a map, but you don't perceive it to be a map. Okay? Now, go back and break this all down. Well, this is your currency, and what you're actually seeing on the back of your currency, okay, your currency is representing Admiralty law, okay, and what you're actually seeing is a boat on the sea, okay. Now, inside this boat, these are bows of the ship, okay. On this Admiralty law, you have these seals. In between these two seals, you have one, okay? Because these two seals are one. And I'm not going to get head heavy, but we're going to, again, keep it analog because that's where your greatest magic plays. Now, what do I mean that this is a map? Well, this seal here, okay, represents the Western Hemisphere, okay? That's why when you go to most documents and look at the seal for one variation or version of this United States, apparently, of America, you always see the eagle, which, when you do your homework, is really a phoenix, and a phoenix is a feathered serpent. These are not arrows, but these are actually spears. And these spears basically represents the tribe. This is why the star is a 6-pointed star made out of 5-pointed stars. So you get into all that extra drop when it comes to that type of stuff there. But in any case, yeah, this represents the Western. Here, perfect. That's what I was looking for. The Great Seal. Okay. This is what they call the present seal. And this is what we call the reverse. Now notice, remember what I said before. On your money, where is it? On your money, you notice it's backwards. And that's, again, weights and measures. The actual plate, money plate, is what's being sealed. Let me go back. But this represents your Western Hemisphere, and this represents your Eastern Hemisphere. And again, you see this. And again, this is, again, on your dollar bill, this is a map. Okay? Eastern Hemisphere, the Western Hemisphere represents what? Go back. There you go. Let me bring this over. Sorry. There you go. Western Hemisphere. There you go. the fiery phoenix, the feathered serpent, right? Over here, got what? The pyramid, who's what? Missing the capstone, right? So Easter. It's over here. Okay? Now, we always say what? They're two sides of the same coin. And we get this, ironically enough, when we think about our actual coin, money that we actually pull out of our pocket. But in indigenous truth, the same coin, okay, exactly this. This is your coin, okay? This here is what? Two sides of the same coin, okay? Remember, a lot of these Masons like to play this wordplay, this magic, and again, this, believe it or not, goes back into this whole entire document, because embossed on the back of this we have what? The pyramid, the all-seeing eye, right? And yet at wow, and yet at the top we got the phoenix depiction, right? Feathery serpent. Now, what makes this all kind of trippy here is, and as you get into it, which should stand out to you, and Brother King is absolutely right. You know, who are these royals, right? Now, conversely, you should see something here. Wow. You should see something here. And what you should see here is that, and I have to go do our, we got to do our homework, because I need to figure it out too. Do we have multiple nations occupying the same country? Or do we have multiple countries occupying the same nation? And I think, again, when you go down to the bottom of this, and we're just looking at we're not even getting into the deep into this stuff here, the actual context. We're just looking at the basics. We got flags and stuff and seals on these documents, right? Okay, but again, let's go back. This represents the world. This is a map. But I know what y'all gonna say, right? Well, Urban, on the dollar is backwards. Well, what did Brother King say? Turn your map upside down, Negro. You've been flipped. You have been flipped. So your currency, this is where you start to, what they say, overstand, right? Overstand, nigga, your map has been flipped. Your money, your currency, actually represent your reality. But you don't see it that way. And they don't teach this. But this is where all this stuff is. Now, currency. And why this is a boat. Because we're under Admiralty law. Now, let's go over here. Now, why is that important? Yeah, upside down, Negro. But again, it represents your seal. Okay. I know it was getting into this stuff here. So I started to try to find the same link Brother Hiram had brought up. Okay. And it took me down this long rabbit hole. And on this video, he gets to the point where, they talk about the establishment, because I wanted to look it up, do my homework, see for myself. But I told him that it reminded me of when he was talking about the Treaty of Peace, as far as around the same time frame as this place being established. And I'll forgive me, I'm trying to. Oh yeah, I want to get into that. Where is it? So I hope I didn't close it out. It was already hard to find in the first place. I think I did. Oh yeah, shoot, it's closing the pages out. My bad, y'all. So, in any case, um, so I started looking it up, and I was trying to find out the actual year of that of the treaty, and the page that he had up. Now I gotta figure out how I did it again. There we go. That takes you to the site. Go back. There it is. I knew it. I'm glad I didn't close it. So, to this here, the Barbary Treaties, 1786 to 1816. Now, they teach us in program and education, what we call, school, that the birth of this nation was 1776. And yet, when you actually do the histories, the sounds like it really should be closer to 1786, or 17, somewhere between 1786 and 1793, as far as the actual quote unquote birth of the nation. And again, this goes into these treaties. So here it is. What was that? The other treaty here, 1786. Then we got 3 years prior, we got the Treaty of Paris. And one of the things that we've been digging on, and if you haven't noticed, is that Spain and Portugal and France or whatever, since Estebanico got murked walking up into the Promised Land after Cortez and the rest of the conquistadors swashbuckling, hacking, and slashing all throughout South America, and Mexico. Estebanico come walking up, looking for the cities of gold, and gets murked. Start this war and war type of stuff, right? But simultaneously, these quote-unquote American colonies, during the same time period, they kind of come to a stall, and they really don't expand. And when you get into it, you realize that to them, the decree was given that the furthest west that the Americas should be is the Appalachian Mountains. And it goes back to what all these treaties and stuff, and the growth of the corporation, and the growth of the country is really all about. And you get into, but again, you get into a lot of weird shit. And one of the weird things that you get into, let me do this here. You know me, I like to use my notepad, so bear with me. I like to use notepads. Yeah, my computer sucks. I need a new mouse. Alright, so law is basically broken down in three degrees. Okay. Alright. Your first degree is common law, better known as the law of the land. Okay. Your second degree is admiralty. And I definitely think that I misspelled that. Admiralty law. And this is what we know as the law of the sea. Right? But then we have what we call the third degree. Giving somebody the third degree. And this is ecclesiastical law. Okay? Which, for all intents and purposes, is law of the sky, air, or heaven. Okay? Now, your common law is ran by or ruled over by the supreme law of the land. Wow. And this is your constitution as we currently understand it, but it might not be. Constitution. And I can't type worth a damn. Alright, Constitution. Okay. Now, under Admiralty law, the law of the sea, what's the supreme law? Well, a lot of people don't know this, but the supreme law in Admiralty law is treaties. Believe it or not. Okay? This is why when you're under Admiralty law, okay, the law of the land doesn't really apply. And this is even though they use the same or similar words, but they don't mean the same thing, and you think you're saying one thing and you're really not, and this, that, and the other. Now, your Admiralty law is broken up into two parts, and your two parts is what? Criminal you got criminal, and then you got civil. Okay. Well, this is where you get into the next step, or the top of the crown pyramid, which is ecclesiastical law. Now, from what I've been able to research, ecclesiastical law has two parts also. Now, basically, you have sovereignty, and the other side of sovereignty is what they call the right of rulership, the divine right to rule, or might makes right. Okay. This is kind of, believe it or not, this is how everything is really structured. But if you don't know that, then you only can operate in what you know. And when one degree fails you, then you have to appeal to a higher degree of